Go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Joseph Rodriguez.
Hey, Joe, what you doing?
And the Brain.
Hey, the Brain got a poop.
We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Paul O'Neill has a few well-deserved days off, so Joe Rod's going to hang out for the rest of this week and a couple of days next week as Paul gets a little R&R, and we move ever so close to college football season. A lot to get into. Mike Detillier 1 hour from right now. Pels today had a great opportunity in the bubble against the Sacramento Kings, and it didn't go so hot. They gave up 140 points in that ball game. They lose 140 to 125, little matinee basketball, and this sucks. There's no way around it. That sucks an awful lot. With Memphis being 0-4 in the bubble and the Pels winning the other night, great opportunity for New Orleans today had they been able to beat the Kings. Instead, now they are even with the Kings as far as record goes, but are below the Kings in terms of tiebreaker. So Memphis maintains the 8. Portland a game behind, San Antonio 2 games behind Memphis, and then 2.5 games each, the Kings and the Pels. So New Orleans had an awesome opportunity with a win today. They could have theoretically been in the 8 tomorrow, but alas, not to be because, well, Alvin Gentry's teams don't play basketball, and it's funny watching this on Twitter play out how despondent a lot of people are with the inability to play basketball or play defense. But really, hasn't this always been Alvin Gentry's MO? I mean, I watched all those Suns teams when he had Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire, and they scored a bunch, and they were fun, and they were up and down, and they ran a lot, and that was a lot of fun, and Nash won MVPs, but they never played defense. I mean, it's just what it was. So, I mean, they got a good collection of talent. I think they can continue to grow and develop and be really good, but I mean, bottom line is, if you can't defend, you're not going to win anything. So, really disappointing. We'll talk to Todd Graffanini, who's on the radio call, coming up in about 15 minutes or so from right now. So, glad you're hanging out with us here. Today, the preseason coaches poll for college football came out, the preseason top 25. So, this is, I guess you got to throw out the caveat that a preseason poll is just, in some respects, I guess it matters because if you start high, then you don't have to jump people. You just start in the pole position, just maintain your lead. Otherwise, you have to, you got to turn heads. It's worth noting last year, LSU was the preseason number 6 team in college football. And, of course, they won the college football playoff. So there's obviously room to go and jump and all that sort of stuff. But if you look at the poll today as it's released, the coaches poll, Clemson preseason number 1 with 38 first-place votes, followed by Ohio State second with 17 first-place votes, Bama third with 4 first-place votes, then Georgia, then LSU coming in at 5th. So only Clemson, Ohio State, and Bama received first-place votes. I continue to be perplexed by Georgia. This is a team that, I understand that Kirby Smart has recruited exceptionally well, and they are a talent-laden roster. They also haven't won anything. Respect to the fact that they were in the championship game a few years ago, and they lost in overtime to Alabama. But last year, that was a bad offensive team. It was a bad offensive team. And I don't know that that 2 transfer quarterbacks, and Jamie Newman from Wake Forest or JT Daniels from USC, whoever wins that job, instantly makes them better to the point where they're that much of a contender. So you could say, oh, look at the SEC East, and it's wide open and winnable. Okay, maybe so. But I'm just going to be really tepid when it comes to Georgia. I just got to see it from Georgia to believe it. So Georgia and LSU 4 and 5, followed by Oklahoma State, Penn State 7, and then Florida at 8. Oregon and Notre Dame round out the top 10. One of the things that when I was looking at this poll today and thinking about reaction, aside from a point about Georgia and not really understanding Georgia and the love for Georgia, a couple of other things that stood out. Michigan at 15 is really interesting because Michigan is typically one of those teams that gets a lot of preseason love, or has under Jim Harbaugh. They've gotten a lot of preseason love and haven't lived up to it. They haven't even won their division yet in his time there in Ann Arbor. So to see Michigan at 15, I think the pollsters have finally realized, hey, we have got to stop hyping Michigan unnecessarily in this preseason. So that was certainly interesting to see, just because it's an about face for what the pollsters have typically done there with Michigan. The other thing, and I always talk about this with preseason polls, and I guess with expectations, generally what I want to see is who has the fewest questions returning against the most manageable schedule. It's one of the reasons why Texas A&M is a team that a lot of people are really high on this year. A&M last year played 4 different teams that were ranked number 1 in the country. They had to play Clemson, and they played Georgia, and they played Bama, and they played LSU. I mean, it was a brutal schedule for A&M a year ago, no question. And when you look at their schedule this year, what it was going to be, Clemson rotated off, and Colorado rotated on. Georgia rotated off. Vanderbilt rotated on. So right there you go, boom, boom, 7-5 becomes 9-3 like that. And if they can find a way to get past LSU, Bama, or Auburn, then they're 10-2 and they're right there in the mix for New Year's 6 game. Doesn't all of that kind of go out of the window now because we don't know what the schedule is going to look like? Like, who are they going to pick up from the East? Does A&M pick up Florida? I don't know. Maybe. That would certainly change the perception of what A&M has to face this year. So it's really hard for me to look at any type of a preseason projection right now because we haven't even seen the schedule. And who you play and when and where you play them absolutely matters. And we don't have those answers yet in the SEC or most of college football yet. The ACC schedules come out. The Big Ten's released its schedule. But we're still waiting to see what the Pac-12 and what the Big 12 and what the SEC are all going to look like. So I need to see those before I'm really confident. Like, if I were a pollster, I wouldn't even want to submit my preseason ballot right now because I don't even know what these team schedules are going to look like. So A&M sitting there at 13. Honestly, I thought A&M and Auburn might have been flipped. Auburn 11, A&M 13. I thought maybe those would have flipped. But nonetheless, the pollsters have Auburn 11, A&M 13. And that's it for the ranked preseason SEC schools. You got 6, but it's 6 of the top 13. But if you go to the others receiving votes, and this is where the SEC could get really interesting this year, is if any of these teams have a comeuppance. Tennessee was the highest team receiving votes, basically number 26 in the country. Iowa State was 25 with 135 votes. Tennessee got 111 votes. So Tennessee basically is ranked 26 in the country. Kentucky also received votes. Mississippi State got 9 votes. And I can't imagine that's anything other than respect for Mike Leach. And then maybe bringing in Costello, the veteran grad transfer quarterback from Stanford. But this is preseason top 25 out from the coaches poll. We'll wait to see what the AP looks like. Respect for LSU, not what I'm sure a lot of LSU fans would want it to look like, considering you're the defending national champions. But I also understand why Clemson is where they are. They returned Trevor Lawrence. They returned Travis Etienne. When you look at LSU nationally, when people look at LSU, they're going to say, you lose Joe Burrow, you lose Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 4 starting offensive linemen, Joe Brady's out, Caleb Von Chasson, Grant Delpit, Christian Fulton, you lose half your defense. I mean, they can't possibly be as good. And maybe they're right. I don't think LSU will be as good. Doesn't mean they can't compete for a championship again. So LSU preseason number 5, work to do to impress the voters. But still tons of respect considering all they lost a year ago. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on a Thursday edition of AFR presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Mike Detillier will join us 1 hour from right now. Something else I want to get into a bit later. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but the Saints have released the first image of Jameis Winston in a full Saints uniform. So if you want to check it out, it's on basically everybody's Twitter right now. But Jameis Winston's first photos in a full Saints uniform have been released. The thing that stands out most about this, look how svelte he is. I mean, Winston, now I'll grant you, in this picture, he doesn't have the rib protector on, but it's incredible. I mean, he went vegan this offseason, we know, and clearly he's lost 20, 30 pounds, whatever the number's going to be, and that's as lean as we have ever, literally from his time at Florida State to now, as lean as we have ever seen Jameis Winston look. So he has clearly committed himself to doing the things he needed to get himself physically right, from LASIK to losing all this weight, to get himself physically right for this season. He looks awesome, man. So good on Jameis. Excited to see him play in the black and gold when we do. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Scheduled to be joined by the radio voice of the Pels, Todd Graffinini, to recap a disappointing loss for the Pels in the bubble earlier today. That's next. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. They're online at lainsurance.net. Better coverage for less money. 293-0450. I tell you every single day, stop overpaying to be underinsured. I mean, most of us have our insurance with State Farm, Allstate, Liberty Mutual, one of the big ones. Because, I mean, they just advertise the most and they're out there. And so that's just what you do. You call them. Or maybe your neighbor is an Allstate agent or something. I don't know, whatever. But the problem is most of us have our insurance with those companies, and most of us take on rate increases without ever checking to see if we're properly insured or paying a fair price. We just have the auto draft and pay the rate increase. Don't do that. I made that mistake for a lot of years, and many of you are as well right now. No more. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana. Let them independently shop to see if they can get you better coverage for less money. 293-0450. Do it right now. They're open until 5 o'clock. 293-0450. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
104.5 ESPN invites you to take a short quiz for a chance to win a brand new EU1000 generator from our friends at Bozeman Distributors. Simply go to 1045ESPN.com now through August 16th and take the quiz to see how prepared you are for hurricane season. Everyone who takes the quiz is automatically entered to win the generator. Our winner will be chosen on Monday, August 17th. Get prepared for hurricane season from 104.5 ESPN and stay prepared with Bozeman Distributors.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more,
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Great opportunity for the Pels today in the bubble, and they peed down their leg. Kings score 140 points in this ball game. Sacramento beats New Orleans 140-125. And Ty Graffanini, radio voice of the Pels, is on the call. He's good enough to join us now. Graf, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
Well, Matt, in the words of Cousin Eddie in Vegas Vacation, it's like somebody dropped a banana down my shorts and turned a monkey loose. My heavens.
All right, so candidly, I didn't get to see the entire game or much of it. I tried to follow along as best I can. For those like me who might have been working or didn't get to catch it all, what the hell happened?
To put it bluntly, the Pelicans scored 39 points in the first quarter and got outscored by 10. That pretty much sums it up right there. The Sacramento Kings had never scored 49 points in any quarter of any game in the history of their franchise. Well, they did it today. And the Pelicans had never given up 49 points in any quarter of any game in the history of their franchise. So, look, you scored 125 points, shot 57% from the floor, and lost by 15. I don't think I need to go on anymore.
It was it effort? Was it scheme? Like, what happened?
Sacramento they did not miss in the first quarter especially. Bogdan Bogdanović literally had the worst shooting game of his life 2 days ago against Dallas when he was 0 for his first 14 from 3. He hit a miracle 3 at the end of overtime to give him 1 for 15. He had 19 points in the first quarter, didn't miss, but the thing is, a lot of his looks were wide open. A lot of the looks that many of the Kings had were wide open. And look, that's 2 of 3 games right now, going back to the Clippers, where the opponent has shot the ball at will. And that's a problem because the offense was not the issue this afternoon. But you cannot give up the easy buckets that the Pelicans did and expect to win ball games. The Pelicans actually didn't turn it over with frequency today as well. But when you're giving up points at a rapid rate, it's impossible to win. And there's no margin for error now, Matt. I mean, it's pretty much win out and hope that you get help. And that's really the sad part, is because the last couple of days, you've gotten help. San Antonio's lost. Memphis continues to lose. Yesterday, you're just getting help from the other teams, and you just couldn't take advantage today.
Ty Graffanini is our guest radio voice of the Pels. Pels lose a matinee today against the Kings, 140-125. Before we look ahead, Graf, a few more on today. Here's your obligatory Zion question. Played 22 minutes, 24 points in 22 minutes. What do we see there?
Unstoppable. He was literally unstoppable. I think he missed 1 field goal. Sacramento had no answer whatsoever. And if the game wasn't completely out of hand, he probably would have gone to the 26, 27-minute range, maybe even further if it would have come down to that. He's not in the greatest shape, but you could tell today he's much more comfortable from where he was even against Memphis. He was still trying to feel himself out as far as getting his handle going, catching the basketball, and driving to the hoop. He was just a little out of control early on in that Memphis game, but you saw him get better and better. And then at the end of the Memphis game, he looked like he did most of the season. Today he picked up directly at the rim, and he looked fantastic. He got to the free throw line 4 times, made 3 of them. So he is good to go the rest of the way. But you can't give up 140 points, or he's rendered moot.
Yeah. Let's look at what's ahead. No margin for error, as you mentioned, and they're likely going to need help, although you've got San Antonio and Sacramento still on the schedule.
Right.
Let's just start with Friday. Now they got to go back-to-back, so play tomorrow night against Washington. How do they match up against Washington?
Matt, I have no idea. I have not seen Washington play one time this year, and I wouldn't wish this fate on anybody. I actually have to watch a Washington Wizards basketball game from yesterday against Philadelphia to get some semblance of who's on their team. We had not played Washington at all in the regular season. So this is the matchup. They're, of course, without John Wall. They're, of course, without Bradley Beal. I know they have Rui Hachimura, but that's about it. So I got to scout them myself. But I tell you what, if I'm Washington, I am licking my chops right now thinking about going up against this Pelicans defense, because the Pelicans just haven't proven that we're going to stop anybody on a consistent basis. So let's get past that one. Hopefully we do. The good news is, if you want to pull something out, is the offense looks like it's back to where it was in March. Sharing of the basketball, getting the ball inside, knocking threes down. So that's not the problem. But you got to stop somebody. Hopefully get a win tomorrow. And then, I mean, I don't even know if must win is to talk about San Antonio. You absolutely have to have that one. So they're all must wins from now on, Matt. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. Pelicans put themselves in that position.
What kind of help would they need, Graf? Let's assume they do win out. What help would they need aside from that as we look at the whole of the Western Conference?
I'll tell you tonight, you better pull for Denver against Portland. Portland right now is in the driver's seat. You know, Memphis has hit the skids. They're 0-4. Now, Memphis is still number 8. So they're hanging on by a thread. But Memphis' schedule is not getting any easier. So what you need to do is pull against Memphis, pull against Portland, who's got the tiebreak on you. You got to pull against San Antonio and Sacramento. The good news is you play both those teams, so you control your destiny in that sense. But any type of goodwill that you got the last couple of days with all the teams that you've been with who lost is now gone because of the game today. So just pull against the teams I talked about and go from there, and hopefully you win the next 4.
It's astonishing, Graf. I mean, if I think of this right, had the Pels won today and Denver beaten
you're
Portland.
Sniffing. Yes, you're sniffing 8.
You'd have been 8.
I mean, you were yes, you were literally knocking on the door, getting ready to kick it in the 8th spot, and all that went by the wayside. And a barrage of points, 49 to be exact, in the first quarter. I've never seen anything like it.
It's just amazing, though. Like, they held Memphis to 99.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
And look,
what
Sacramento
happened?
was desperate. Sacramento came out like Game 7 of a finals because their season literally was down to this 48 minutes. If the Pelicans win today, it is over, done. Throw the dirt on top of the coffin for the Sacramento Kings. And they played like it, and the Pelicans did not on the defensive end, and that's where we are.
Is the Alvin Gentry criticism warranted, or is this more of a player thing?
Well, I mean, I saw a lot of open threes in the ball game. I mean, look, when you lose, everyone's going to get criticized. That's just the way it is. Everyone's going to take the heat. And I know after the Clipper game, which, the Clippers, it was eerily similar to the game today, there was a lot of heat. So, when you win, it's just such a time, present time, because everything kind of went away after Memphis. But now it's going to ramp up again because today was just such a big game and a chance to really make a dent in the deficit, and instead it went the other way.
Hey, Graf, what's the broadcast schedule for tomorrow? I know it's a 7 o'clock tip, but what time are you guys on?
Daniel Salison will start Pelicans warm-up at 6:30, and we'll have the tip at 7, so no time to think about it. You got to get right back at it.
So AFR tomorrow, wrap up at 6:30 on 100.3 ESPN New Orleans will be the pregame, and then you'll have Graf on the call at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Pell's got to get right back at it in the bubble. Graf, we appreciate it, man. After a long day of broadcast, we appreciate you jumping aboard for a few minutes.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Okay, man. Y'all follow him on Twitter at NTGraf, Ty Graffanini, radio voice of the Pels. But it's just so true. I mean, you could spell it out. What an opportunity. If you kind of just look at the schedule and do the math, if the Pels won this game, and if Denver had managed to beat Portland tonight, you're right there knocking on the door of the 8th seed. And it's crazy. And instead, you lose this game and you undo everything that you had done by getting the help that you had with San Antonio losing and with Memphis being 0-4 in the bubble. So really disappointing, really disappointing day for New Orleans down the bubble. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. If you're like Brain and you got that tattoo of a seahorse on your lower back and you got it done because you lost a bet and you want to go get it wiped away, Pico Way Laser Tattoo Removal. It's an affordable way to do it. Fewer treatments, virtually pain-free. It's Pico Way Laser Tattoo Removal, discounted all this month at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. All right, we'll knock out a quick break. Come back, go around the SEC. Mike Detillier, 34 minutes from right now. Stay here.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital. They're online at brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org. That's where you can learn more about all of the services the Baton Rouge General has available right now for you. The ways that they're making healthcare more comprehensive and accessible to all of us. Right now, they've got virtual visits available still. If you're locked down because of COVID and not able to get out of your house, no worries. They've got you covered at the Aesthetic Medicine, at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. They've also got their mobile app where you can schedule or see wait times at any of their express care locations. They've also got the Surgery Fast Pass. You can register, have a touchless registration for your surgery via the app. It's online at Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, or their mobile app, brgeneral.org, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I'll remind you that the Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us here every weeknight on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge. And it's just such a fantastic time to follow the Otter, get all of his picks, and certainly to follow him on Twitter as well. This was peak Ott on Twitter last night, if you happen to miss it. You should be following at Jimmy Ott 1045 on Twitter. Because if you're not, you'll miss this. And I will grant you that if you're not watching us right now, some of this might be lost. But last night at 11:02 p.m. Central Time, Jimmy Ott tweeted, Austin Nola, 2 out, 2-run double. Wixtebs, Nariners keyed to 6-3 over Angels. Back-to-back multi-hit games, Fear Nola.
Fur, like a Christmas tree.
Like fur. Yeah, fur, like the Christmas tree. The 2 out, by the way, Otter, not a fan of hyphens, which makes 2 out, 2-run, and back-to-back and multi-hit somewhat difficult to decipher. But if you know what you're looking at in Twitter parlance, it makes a little bit of sense. What are we looking here with Wixtebs Nariners lead?
Oh, you want to Wixteb the lead all day long.
You want to Wixteb the lead.
You never want to sit on a lead.
Especially if you're a Nariner. If you're a Nariner, you've got to be out there looking to Wixteb your keyed.
Yes. Well, I mean, because they were going up last night against the Angles.
Yes.
And if you're a Nariner playing the Angles, then you don't want to sit or suit on a lead.
You don't want to
Wixteb.
Don't suit. You want to Wixteb the keyed. You keep saying lead.
Oh,
it's keyed.
Man, I missed one.
There's so many in there. This is peak Jimmy Ott on Twitter. This is. I mean, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least. I mean, do you not prove? We got to ask him. I mean, is it that? And listen, I've been with Ott when he's tweeted before, and the really interesting thing about Ott with it is that he can't see, right? Like,
yeah,
he's one of the guys. He's an old guy. I hate to make fun of the old guy, but he's like, he holds his phone. He's like, he's doing this. You know, you go to a restaurant. He's like, he's got to put the light on his phone like this to see the menu. You know, so I'm like, is that really an excuse for that?
To that extent, like, I'll man thumb every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not flawless on Twitter, so I don't want to pretend like I'm flawless on Twitter. But
like sometimes you fat thumb it and you get an A instead of an S.
Yeah.
Because they're right by each other.
O's instead of I's.
O's instead of I's is like TI instead of TO. If you do like T instead of two.
Yeah. And fur instead of 4.
Yeah.
That would be legit.
Follow Jimmy Ott on Twitter, by the way. At Jimmy Ott 1045. But it's after further review. Thursday show is brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Mike Detillier in 26 minutes. Meantime, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC. Whenever you're ready. There it is. Got it.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
The brain has stabbed his streak of messing up around the SEC. He stabbed at his streak. So the two sons of Pro Football Hall of Famer Ray Lewis, they're transferring to Kentucky. Rashad and Rashawn Lewis are both confirmed that they will walk on for the Kentucky Wildcats. Rashad Lewis is 5'10", 176, played wide receiver at Maryland last season, started his college career at Utah State. So in Utah State, Maryland, now Kentucky. His brother Rashawn Lewis is a 5'11", 181-pound receiver. He played 4 games for FAU last season, began his college career at Central Florida. So went Central Florida, FAU, now Kentucky. So the Lewis brothers are rolling out to Lexington together.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
A 3-star running back, Ontario Brown, out of Georgia. He's committed to South Carolina on Wednesday afternoon. Had offers from Virginia Tech, West Virginia, NC State. 5'11", 205. He's the 65th best running back in the country, according to the 24/7 composite. Gamecocks now up to 16 commitments for the class of 2021. Brown becomes the 3rd running back for the Gamecocks class of 2021.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And Tennessee's picked up a place kicker, J.T. Carver. He's committed to play Tennessee as a preferred walk-on. He's from Knoxville, as a matter of fact. His dad worked at Tennessee for 10 years before taking a job as the chancellor at UT Martin. So Carver had preferred walk-on offers from Michigan and Tennessee, but he ultimately has picked the Vols. Current kicker Brent Samiglia will be a senior this year. He's set to graduate, so then Carver, presumably, would take over. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. They're online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. If you're a business owner looking to be more efficient amid COVID-19, interactive whiteboard now and beyond is a fantastic option. Learn more at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products in gcopnet.com. Check out Trey Beal and all our friends over at Gulf Coast Office Products. Learn more about interactive whiteboard and all of their office equipment that they have available. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, glad to have you hanging out with us here. Just saw this tweet a second ago from Amy Just of NOLA News that Saints have placed 2 players on the reserve COVID-19 list. So Albert Breer tweeted out the latest update, but the 2 Saints players are long snapper Zach Wood and linebacker Caden Ellis. So both those players right now obviously will be quarantined until they can have back to 2 consecutive negative tests before they can rejoin the team. But Zach Wood, Caden Ellis, both positive for COVID-19. Again, something that is absolutely to be expected now and throughout the season. It's why you have expanded rosters, and this is to be expected now and throughout the remainder of this season if you're going to continue to test, which is something that likely we'll talk about throughout the show today and in the coming days, which is This is going to sound odd to some of you, I'll grant you. But and right now it's even more relevant because the SEC and other college leagues are coming out with their policies right now for testing. And I, for the life of me, can't understand why we feel the need to test athletes every single day or multiple times a week. Okay, there are so many industries in life that are returning. I'm at work every day. I've not been COVID tested. Kids are back in school. They're not going to be tested every day. You go to work right now? I ate at a restaurant this afternoon for lunch. A lot of people there, I'm sure, not been COVID tested. I don't understand why there's this feeling of necessity to test athletes this much. I don't understand it. If you're asymptomatic, why aren't you treated like the rest of the population, which is asymptomatic? Mind your P's and Q's, wear your mask, wash your hands, cover sneezes and coughs. If you become symptomatic, even slightly, remove yourself and go get tested. Okay. Other than that, it's mind-boggling to me that we continue to expend these resources on testing asymptomatic athletes. I digress. All right, it's after further review. We'll wrap up hour number 1 when we come back. Thursday show is brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Brain Alive Tigers in the pros, and a couple of disappointing days, one in the NBA and one in the NFL for some former Tigers. We'll get to that when we come back. And Mike Detillier coming up in less than 20 minutes from right now. Glad to have you with us here on a Thursday edition of AFR. Stick around.
AFR.
If you need dinner plans tonight, Ichiban, always a great option. Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. 2 locations, Ichiban, 1 place for the best sushi in Baton Rouge. Not me saying it, you saying it. But it'll buy you the best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 awards. That's Ichiban. Either location. Go into the Essen Lane location, the original. You walk in, you see the metal Japanese tree sculpture, the sultry wood, the marble. It's gorgeous when you walk in. You feel like you're walking out of Baton Rouge and into New York City. You'll have a dining experience. When you belly up to the bar, a floor-to-ceiling transparent wine cellar, the ice slab that runs the length of the bar. Take your ice-cold draft beer, your cocktail, you put it on that ice slab. It stays the same temperature from first sip to last. We haven't even started talking about the food yet. The best sushi with the most creative specialty rolls, the freshest fish, and award-winning hibachi. What more can you want? Ichiban. Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Make tonight an Ichiban night.
Toyota, we don't just sell cars, we buy them too. Bring your car in so we can see it, and within minutes, you can turn your car into cash or trade it in towards your next vehicle. It's a fast and easy process. We buy your car at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
104.5 ESPN invites you to take a short quiz for a chance to win a brand new EU1000 generator from our friends at Bozeman Distributors. Simply go to 1045ESPN.com now through August 16th and take the quiz to see how prepared you are for hurricane season. Everyone who takes the quiz is automatically entered to win the generator. Our winner will be chosen on Monday, August 17th. Get prepared for hurricane season from 1045 ESPN and stay prepared with Bozeman Distributors.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona. Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We'll do Tigers in the pros here in just a quick second. So I've been telling you, though, it's August. And Thursdays are brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. And in August, they have 20% off Pico Way laser tattoo removal. So people like Brain who are just tatted up. Like, Brain has this habit of going out, getting drunk, not remembering things, ending up at the tattoo shop, and then having things like a Barbie on his bicep. It just happens so many times. I've known Brain. How long have I known you? 2007?
Yeah,
long
thereabouts.
time. Yeah, so it's been a long time that I've known you. I mean, over the years, you've gotten dozens of tattoos from drunken stories like this. You know, you're the spring break tattoo story, right?
I have none. I have no tattoos.
You got the leprechaun from Lucky Charms on your ass.
Well, I have a lot of Irish heritage.
Well, blame it on whatever you want, but you have a cartoon character on your ass. I mean, if you ever want those done away with, this is the month to do it. Pico Way laser tattoo removal is 20% off. And I would guess that Torrey Carter, that would be Saints H-back / tight end Torrey Carter, may at some point covet the services of the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Check this out. He has tattooed on his lower leg. It's a wrap around the leg of a picture of him standing on the field at Tiger Stadium. So if you're watching, it's like starts on his calf and it wraps around, like all the way around. And think of it like a 360 photo of him standing on the field at Tiger Stadium with Welcome to Death Valley behind him and all that sort of stuff. It's got the national championship logo mixed in. It's got the record, the score of every game in there as well, their record. Brain, you're a big tattoo guy. How much would something like that cost?
I wouldn't even know how to begin to add that. Hundreds of dollars.
Listen, you got to stop with this
Hundreds.
with this being coy, like you're not a giant tattoo guy.
Well, I mean, can we start with if I'm drunk every time, why would I even remember?
Well, you wouldn't remember. But you have.
So how would I know what they cost?
But you have you got a bank statement?
I mean, I also have a wife. I burn it immediately.
Okay. But you take a glimpse.
I would guess it'd be a couple grand.
Yeah, it looks expensive. Either way. Brain, what would it? He has one team, one heartbeat on there as well, going down his shin. How long would this have taken? I have so many questions. I really want to get Torrey Carter on just to talk about this tattoo.
It looks like he'd be in a chair for like a day and a half.
Oh,
like,
man.
Does that all happen at once?
There's no. There's no way. There's no way that happens at once. Like, that has to be something that's like that's art. I mean, that's like an artist doing, like, has to sit there and do that over time. That is something else. Whew. Peach Bowl at the bottom. One team, one heartbeat down the shin. The scores of every game on there. That is just something else. I tell you what. Welcome to Death Valley. Wow. Anyway, Torrey, when you're ready, or if someone wants to gift that to Torrey Carter, here's the thing. You can buy it now and use it whenever you want. So 20% off Pico Way laser tattoo removal. Buy it now and let him use it, however many years from now when he doesn't want that on his lower leg anymore. All right. It's after further review. Next year, Torrey Carter very likely will be vying for a job in the NFL. Right now, though, Brain tells us about guys who are currently playing professional sports who are former athletes. It's called Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
This is so weird to see the giant green outline, like silhouette of the state of Kentucky in the Tigers in the Pros logo.
And Mike just eyeing it up, ready to eat. Hey, we're going to start off in the bubble today. Ben Simmons got some bad news. Out indefinitely The former Tiger injured his left knee in the third period of yesterday's win over the Wizards. 76ers should know by tomorrow. They'll be able to make that indefinite definite. They'll have a date on his return by this time tomorrow. The only other Tigers to see action on the floor in the bubble last night was Garrett Temple. He only played 5 minutes, did not score. The Celtics blew out the Nets 149-115.
And I thought, did Tremont Waters get in that game?
No. Well, he didn't make the box score. So I
had that game on. It was late, but at the end of the game, it looked like he was in. But it would have been in the box score if he had gotten in the game.
Yeah, no, he did not make the box score. I've been waiting for him to make the box score, but no. From the NFL, Jeremy Hill's looking for a new team. It was announced yesterday the Las Vegas Raiders were letting him go. Looks like what?
Did you see his tweet?
No, I saw the story from Vegas yesterday.
Jeremy Hill tweeted. That was fast. So he was signed on Monday and then released. Joe, can you pull that? Yeah, he just tweeted, "That was fast," with like the roll eyes emoji. Stay hot, Oakland or Las Vegas.
It is Vegas.
I know it's Vegas.
It's going to take a while.
Just like the Chargers. People still call them San Diego.
And will for years.
That's been a couple of years now.
Also from, we did it here with the Hornets.
Took a minute. Called them Charlotte.
No. We went from Hornets to Pelicans. It took a minute for me to adjust to Pelicans. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I do still rock it's not even like a throwback. It's like just a vintage Pelicans, New Orleans Hornets shirt. It's a purple shirt that says New Orleans Hornets, got the B logo on there.
I have one of those as well. Mine is bright blue.
The thing that I miss the most is the Black Eyed Peas I'm a Bee, what they would play during the games. Mostly because I like I'm a Bee. I like the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they play music during NBA games.
You're a big Black Eyed Peas guy, though.
I like the Black Eyed Peas. I like Fergie.
Yeah.
You're a cross between Fergie and Jesus.
Wait, say that again?
That was a Step Brothers reference. Don't worry about it.
I missed it.
I said it was a cross between Fergie and Jesus.
There you go.
Yep.
From Buffalo, Tre'Davious White's going to play.
Oh, really?
Yes. White was contemplating and had hinted at a lot that he might opt out this year, but the All-Pro, according to ESPN today, the All-Pro will be out there for the 2020 season.
Yeah, the opt-out deadline was 53 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So the final list of players that have opted, we're going to talk about that with Mike Detillier in 7 minutes from right now. We'll look at the list of the final opt-outs, who's in, who's out. Tre'Davious was interesting. We talked about it yesterday because Tre'Davious had that sort of interesting balance because some had suggested that maybe he was threatening to opt out in an attempt to get a new contract because he's entering the final year of his rookie deal, but the Bills have a fifth-year option. Right. So he's only scheduled to make like 1.8 only, right? 1.8 million. But next year, if they pick up his fifth-year option, it's over $10 million. So conventional wisdom is Buffalo's going to extend him, but you wouldn't likely do that this year. You'd wait until next offseason to do it.
From the MLB, DJ LeMahieu ended up going 3 for 3 in Game 1 yesterday, scoring a run. The Yankees did lose that game 11-7 to Philadelphia. In the nightcap, LeMahieu went. Oh, I love reading this sentence. In the nightcap, LeMahieu went 0 for 4, dropping his average to 415. Yankees win that one 3-1.
You missed the other part of that.
What?
Well, Aaron Nola started that game.
Wait, Aaron Nola started the second game?
Aaron Nola started the second game.
Okay. No, save it because we got another one. His brother.
I'm going to do that too. All but Aaron Nola started the second game, throws a gem, 12 strikeouts, pitches a complete game in a 7-inning loss, a 3-1 loss. Phillies gave him absolutely no run support. He gave up a yak to Voit early in the game, but nothing after that. It's why I loathe win-loss record being attached to a pitcher.
Yes.
Like, what more could Aaron Nola have done?
I mean, he did give up one. So there is one that he left
How
out
did the
there.
St. Paul's kid do last night starting in the show, Brain?
Actually, he didn't play last night, which is why the Mets beat the Nats. See, the day before, Tanner Rainey did play, and the Nationals won.
Nobody even knows who that is.
I just said it who it was. Tanner Rainey.
I don't even know who that is.
Hey, before we get out of here, as we learned earlier,
made that up.
and I got ESPN to go along with me. As we learned earlier, Austin Nola went 2 for 4 last night, including a 2-run double that Wick-Stebbed the Mariners keyed over the Angels.
Wick-Stebbed the Mariners keyed.
By the way, Nola also scored a run, Wick-Stebbing the keyed even further. The Mariners would hold on to win 7-6.
Oh, Jimmy Ott. Follow Ott on Twitter if you're not. Brought to you by Kentucky's Best Hemp, Lewis Coleman's company, giving away 10,000 free bottles of CBD oil. Seriously. BestFreeHemp.com. 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 Mike D, next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Yes, they've got bumper-to-bumper auto service. Yes, they sell name brand tires at wholesale prices, but they're also hiring. Shawbills has 18 locations. They got 2 more coming in the greater Baton Rouge area. One at the end of 2020, another at the beginning of 2021, and they're currently looking to fill all of these positions. So, storefront, if you want to work in the garage, if you're a mechanic with any level of certification or know-how, from changing oil to the most intricate repairs, Shawbills is looking for you. Apply online or in person at ShawbillsTire.com. If you want a career instead of a job, check out ShawbillsTire.com. They have benefits, health benefits, insurance, retirement. ShawbillsTire.com. For 50 years, Shawbills, we keep your...
This is a house call. This is a test result. This is a prescription refill. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. Start your virtual visit today at Auctioner Health.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
When you want the best of Louisiana, you don't go to a superstore. We know what we like, and we like it local. Same goes for banking. As one of Louisiana's largest local banks, we offer homegrown services crafted around you. Gulf Coast Bank, the bank that cares about you.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Gearing up for hour 2 of AFR. Mike Detillier is on the way shortly. quick update for you. The Pelicans have to win out, and this time they really, really mean it. Brandon Ingram was good for 24. Zion was good for 24 as well. Pels fall 140 to 125 today. Looking at some other current scores in the NBA. The Heat have a 45-28 lead over the Bucks. That game is in the second. The Suns are up 50-40 over the Pacers. That game is also in the second. Hey, LeBron James is not going to play tonight. Has something to do with his groin. From Buffalo, as we said a moment ago, Tre'Davious White is going to play. While he was contemplating opting out for the season, instead he does opt in. From Major League Baseball, the Giants and Rockies are in the fifth, and they are scoreless. The A's have a 5-0 lead over the Rangers. That's also in the fifth. And the Angels are up 1-0 over the Mariners. Hour 2 of AFR coming your way now.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right. After further review, our weekly talk with Mike Detillier is brought to you by the one and only New Orleans original, Cesarac Rye Whiskey.
You blew them circuits clean off the wall.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Joe Rodriguez.
Hey, Joe, what you doing?
And the Brain.
Hey, the Brain got a poop.
We're here. Glad you are as well. Paul O'Neill has a few days off. A little vacay down to the beach. But we always have Mike D with us. SaintsReport.com, MikeDetillier.com, part of the Saints News Network, and with us every single Thursday. Mike D, thanks for the time as always. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Matt.
Mike, opt-out time for the NFL. That expired 1 hour and 2 minutes ago. Final thought on the opt-out list? Any big surprises there for you?
I thought it would be more.
What do you attribute to it not being as many as you thought it would be?
I just think many of the players that cast a doubt about how this would be done, I think we're satisfied with the testing. And one of the things you got to run through your mind, too. And I've been involved with this in other businesses other than sports. There are people that, let's say they're in their late 50s into their 60s, tremendously talented in what they do, very gifted. Their mind is sharp as a tack. And they're okay, but then something happens to a family member. Okay, it might be a wife, it might be one of their children or grandchildren, and they could still work, and financially they have the money to fall back on, and their decision is, you know what, I'm going to take a break from this. I'm going to walk away for a while. And so if you're an engineer or a lawyer or a doctor, and you can do that. As a football player, I think you got to feel pretty safe that they're testing you. As many times you're safer in that bubble than you are out in the real world. You really are. Now, again, there are some things out of your control, because I've talked to doctors that deal with this on a daily basis, and just the most bizarre sort of symptoms of. Some people come in asymptomatic, have no, they may be feeling a little bit down, but, all of a sudden they test positive for it. You have some people that lose their taste, smell. You have some people, the fever is unbelievable. I have a friend of mine on the bayou, 8 days. He had fever over 101 before it finally broke. And when it broke, he stayed a couple more days in the hospital. They sent him back, and he's doing well. I've had 4 people, either family-wise, close friends, pass away from it. I've had people that I know very well. They don't know anyone that's either had it or passed away from it. So bad. You got the spectrum here all over the board. And I think if you're a player, once you saw kind of how the testing was going to be done, your thing is, okay, I know my career is going to be short. and I'm not going to have this opportunity. And I feel safe in it, and maybe safer than I would feel in the real world. Because if that's the case, if you're opting out, then you can't be clubbing at night. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be going out and whoop-de-doo. Okay? If you're afraid that you're going to get it, then there's some bit of self-control on your part that you have to take. And I think for a lot of players that maybe seriously considered it, they felt safe in this bubble. The other part, too, is, and what we don't know and what you may find out much later in life, is there are people in this league with some serious health issues that can still play football, but they have an issue somewhere down the road or something they've dealt with and feel safer not playing. Now, again, we see that in the real world. Matt, you've got people, and you're younger than me, that all of a sudden they get really sick, and you say, man, how can that be? They have serious heart issues and that sort of thing. It happened to a friend of both of ours, in Jen Hale.
Mm-hmm.
I knew very early in the process because she had told me and said, just kind of keep it under wraps. A serious heart issue that she's been able to battle and she's come back from extremely well. But you wouldn't think someone that age would have that sort of problem. And so you don't know what the next person has. So to answer your question, I think a lot of it has to do with, I think players felt comfortable in this kind of bubble that the NFL was going to put in, that they were going to get tested. You're going to have positive tests, just like what happened with the Saints today of two people.
Right.
Now, we'll find out a little bit more about it. Were they exposed to somebody who had it and this is precautionary? Did they test positive for it? We'll find that later. We've also seen there have been some false positive tests. And so, we'll find out a little bit more on that information. But it goes to show you that I think people that were talking about numbers in the hundreds, that wasn't accurate. Now, I thought it would be more than what it was, but I didn't think it would be hundreds. And, those are the same people that are saying about the college players. You're going to see a ton of them. And, yeah, they've had a few. And Gregory Rousseau, who you and I talked about today, name me the top pass rusher in college football. And he was the guy that I always said, that's the top pass rusher in college football, despite the fact he's just a football puppy. He's only played 1 year of college football. He was redshirted as a freshman. And he was a wide receiver safety in high school. He made that business decision. Michael Parsons. And I think both of them today, in fact, I have a top 32, but let's just say the Saints News Network decides, don't print it. Don't print it, Mike. You can't keep it for a little while longer. Okay, all four guys, Bateman, Caleb Farley, along with Micah and Gregory Rousseau, would all be in the top 32. And two of them, Parsons and Russo, who today opted out, would be in the top 10. So it does go to show, I think some of those guys will opt out. But I throw this back to what we've talked about for weeks. No one at this time a year ago thought Joe Burrow would be the top pick in the 2020 draft. No one. And if you said it, dude, you better not take the lie detector test. Clyde Edwards-Helaire would be the only running back picked in round one. Think about Patrick Queen, started 4 games at LSU, becomes a first-round pick. Now, Justin Jefferson, at this time a year ago, I had ranked as a second-round pick, and he goes in round 1. That's not a huge leap, but still it was a jump.
Sure.
He made that leap because of what he did a year ago. You think about Caleb, he was the only guy that we talked about as a first-round pick that actually ended up being a first-round pick.
Yeah.
In the bunch. So there's a lot of opportunity, and I think for some college players, their deal is, I'm going to play. And we've already heard from, Jamar's dad that, his plans are to play. And they will have more opt-outs in college football. That I have no doubt, and I'm ready for what's going to happen out west, because I think if there's going to be a run on it, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be out west. And so we'll see how that happens down the road. But it's not going to be, hundreds and hundreds of players like you see this today. It's the same thing like Connecticut dropping football. I mean, you'd have swore, you were battening down for a Category 5 hurricane because Connecticut opted out of football this year. And if you know the backstory of it, most of those games they had scheduled, they had already been dropped,
right?
Because it was out of their conference deal. Because now they're an independent. So again, it's not as many as I thought. Certainly, when you look at the Patriots and that many players, that has an effect on your football team. I don't care how you cut it; it has a negative effect. To C.J. Mosley not being there with the Jets, he's a big money free agent guy. That's a huge hole. And Nate Soldier, a guy, you got a young quarterback you're trying to protect, and Soldier was going to be one of the guys that was going to do it. That's major when you lose that. But, listen, I respect the guys that have opted to play, and I respect some of it because I don't know their medical condition, and neither does anybody else listening to this. You don't know it. You don't know what you don't know about someone's medical condition or what they're dealing with. And I've had to deal with this outside the sports world, similar situations with people having to deal with it. So, it's going to be interesting because I did a podcast that is not out yet. And I did it with the former coach. The first thing he says is about, what would concern me is depth. And he said, what would concern me? My deep snapper tests positive for COVID on a Friday, and he can't play, and I got to have some backup guy snap the ball to my holder, and the timing of the hold, the kick, everything else. And he said, you got people on the street, anybody can do that. Okay, well, then why didn't you do it? Oh, well, I had a bad knee. Well, you can't snap the ball? Well, I blew out my neck. No, that's an art form of being a deep snapper. In this league or any other league. That is a real art form to do. Let him miss a kick because of a bad snap, and you find out. Look how long Trey Junkin played in this league. Trey's a Tech guy, Louisiana Tech guy, knew him well. He played 18, 19 years in the NFL. What do people remember him for? The bad snap when the 49ers played the Giants in a game which messed up a kick. And that's what you remember him for. Not for all the other snaps he hit right on target, but for that one. Kinchin can tell you the story about cutting his finger, the night before the Super Bowl. And he's got to make the snap, for Vinatieri's kick. How that turned out okay, but it could have been the other way. I'm just telling you, it's the options now that guys like Peyton and all the other coaches got to run through your head now. Man, if I lose my deep snapper, what about my holder? Or what about my kicker? That's something you might have thought a little bit about. So now on your developmental squad, do you keep a deep snapper? Do you keep another kicker? It's something that hadn't maybe run through your mind. Now you might have to run it through your head.
Yeah. Mike Detillier is with us. Mike, let me knock out a quick break. We already know that the Saints have already started chopping that roster. I want to get your reaction to that and what we've learned so far through the early days of what Sean Payton is saying is not training camp. After further review, stick around.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet. Dine in, carry out. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, and yes, sports on TV. You got NBA action down in the bubble? Get on by, watch it at Pluckers. You want to watch Major League Baseball action? Get on by, watch it at Pluckers. Your favorite team out of market? You can watch every game at Pluckers. PGA The championship, golf's first major, starts today at Harding Park. Want a place to watch? Get by Pluckers. Either location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, and yes, finally, after a months-long hiatus, you have a bevy of sports on TV. Why not indulge? Don't just sit at your house. Don't just watch it on your phone. Eat wings, drink beer, and watch your favorite sporting events at Pluckers. Nicholson or Bluebonnet, dine in or carry out. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Hi, this is Chance Inman, President and Chief Operating Officer for Janney King Gulf Coast. Here are some ways to protect yourself and those around you from the coronavirus. Wash your hands often and thoroughly. Cover coughs and sneezes with your elbow. Disinfect high-touch surfaces regularly. Use non-contact methods for greeting others. And avoid touching your face. Following these steps, as well as social distancing, should help all of us stay healthy.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Here at Corval Toyota, we don't just sell cars, we buy them too. Bring your car in so we can see it, and within minutes, you can turn your car into cash or trade it in towards your next vehicle. It's a fast and easy process. We buy your car at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Our weekly talk with Mike Detillier is brought to you by the one and only New Orleans original, Sazerac Rye Whiskey.
Well, look, we're in the early portion of training camp, and I mean, we're in walkthroughs and meetings. It's not until next week that we really get into, really more of a practice setting.
Sean Payton talking with the media as Saints are beginning early portions of training camp. Visiting with Mike Detillier. Chat's brought to you by Sazerac Rye, the one and only New Orleans original, Sazerac Rye. Pick it up wherever you buy your spirits. Hey, Mike D, we also saw today, it was Saints Media Day, so we got to see pictures of a lot of the Saints, including a trimmed-down Jameis Winston. What did you think about seeing Jameis? It's got to be down, Mike, 20, 30 pounds? I mean, he's svelte.
He looks like he's down 15 or more.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Jameis is always, if you've been around him, and he came twice to the Manning camp, so got a chance to be around him. He's a big man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a small quarterback. He is a big man. And I just think he felt it was best for him. And we see that from different players during their career. They get a little thinner, they get a little bigger, it's whatever they feel is best for them at that time. But he certainly looks thinner, which should help his mobility skills. I think that's one thing as you get up in weight, it sort of takes it away a little bit when you start to put on those type pounds. So I think as a quarterback, you try to keep your weight at a certain thing. I know I got a connection sort of like 6 degrees of separation. But one of the things Tom Brady says all the time to people is, my weight's the same as his. Because I feel comfortable at that weight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he might look different. He looks younger today than he did when he was in his 20s. But when you look at him, he's built the same way. He's kept his weight at a certain level. And I think for a lot of times as guys get older in their career, they want to jump weight off. And I've had people tell me that's not a really good idea unless you're heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you should start to keep that weight on you. So it's interesting to see with Jameis, and we won't get a chance other than in the practice sessions to watch him throw the football. He is an immensely gifted guy as a passer. Man, he got some talent, and he got some arm talent that is out of this world. Again, the decision-making process is the part that I'd want to see. Listen, it's great that he loses weight, but how does that help him when he's out on the field to make a throw? Because I think that's the negative with Jameis. Not that he can't make the deep throw downfield. Not that at times he looks great and at other times you say, what was he thinking making that throw? There is a process with him that I think you can get a little bit better. You're never going to stop him from making a throw that you shake your head about. That is part of him. And my old friend Gabe Coverhouse, who just passed away a few weeks back, she compared him to Vinny Testaverde. And she was like, you know, I was here when we picked Vinny. And, you know, and I see Jameis. And there are some similarities with the two. Big, tall guys sit in a pocket and can arm throw and make every throw in the book. And then there are times you just shake your head about, what are you doing? And she said it was the best thing. We got rid of Vinny, and he started for 6 other teams in the NFL. I think he played until like he was like 44 years old. So it does go to show you, I think you can better that part, but how much better? Jameis is always going to be a guy that's going to take a chance with a throw only because he's done it all his life. Matt, it's hard to break that habit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really hard. Now, people say, well, look at Peyton Manning, look at Drew Brees. Well, you know what? They didn't have that rifle. You know, so they learned a different way of how to get the ball in tight quarters. Jameis can arm talent it down there. That's hard to break. When you think you can make a throw because you might practice it a certain way, put them in a game situation and see what happens. I think you go back to what you've normally done. You can get a little bit better, but it's like trying to teach calculus to a C- student. You ain't getting him to an A.
Hey, man, I made an A in calculus in college, Mike. I made an A in calculus in college.
Well, Matt, I would have guessed the under.
I busted my ass for that A, Mike.
Listen, I get it. I get it. But listen, if you not, because there are some people that know certain things and yet maybe math or in English they're not quite as good at, and they struggle with it. And so you can get them a little bit better, but you're never going to get them to an A student. You know, if you're a C-D student, you're never going to be that A student. Now, if you get some to a B, man, you've done great work. Put it to you that way.
Mm-hmm. Mike, let's talk about some of the cuts. It surprised, I think, a lot of people. Certainly surprised me that they were so proactive in getting that number down to 80. And there were some big names. Taylor Stallworth, Tommy Lee Lewis. What was your reaction seeing some of those cuts?
Well, Tommy Lee wasn't a shock to me once it was an 80 cut. Taylor, I understood, and in fact, I posted it as soon as I heard it. It popped to me. You know, you got an 80-man roster. You look at the defensive tackles, and I think Taylor's a solid player, and he can play in the NFL somewhere. Now, if you're the Saints, you know what Taylor Stallworth can do good and what he can't. You look at that defensive tackle position for the Saints with Sheldon Rankins, David Onyemata, Malcolm Brown. And you got 2 guys that are hybrid players in Marcus Hunt and also Mario Edwards. So that brings you to 5. Shy Tuttle. Okay, that gets you to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to give Malcolm Roach an opportunity. I think that a lot of times when you make these decisions and it comes down to, do I bring Taylor to camp or do I give Malcolm a shot? It was, let's give Malcolm a shot in these preparation type situations and see how well he performs. If he doesn't perform well and Taylor's still out there, we can go out there and get him, because everybody's sort of trying to get it, to 80, and it's going to be tough. But that means you got 7 guys that can play defensive tackle on an 80-man roster. Matt, that's because you can see where the numbers are catching up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think this team still needs to add is at corner and an outside corner. And again, there are a few guys out there that haven't signed yet, and that all comes down to contracts with Logan Ryan or Drake Kirkpatrick. Financially, can you make it fit here? You see with the situation with Clowney, and he's frustrated a lot of people in this league. Put it to you that way. Some people thought they had him at one time, and then, he walks away and wants a little bit more. And you just wonder kind of what's happening with him. The Browns made a great offer. Titans made a great offer. Seahawks have made a great offer and on a 1-year deal, and he's walked. And so, again, he wants to get paid like an elite defensive end. I think he's a very good one. I don't think he's an elite one, but I think he's a very good one. And he could help any team in the NFL. But, man, when he's talking about, he turned down $18 million and $17 from Seattle.
Wow.
I mean, who's going to come up with that type of dough today? That's a lot of money when you're throwing at him, even if it's a 1-year deal. Everson Griffin now is also a guy I think a lot of teams are looking at. Everson, I think, is a little bit like Eric Martin, to be honest with you. Eric was a guy, he was like, man, I don't want to go to training camp. Man, let them other guys play. And, I'll come in like after week 3 of preseason, and, I get like a week and a half in, and I'm good.
Well, Brett Favre did the same thing. Brett Favre did the same thing.
Eric signed more 1-year contracts than anybody I know in the history of the National Football League. Eric was, no, I'm not going in, go through all that training camp. Man, let me come in, week 3. I'll never forget Joe Johnson. He was a late holdout one year, and he comes into Tuesday before a Sunday game against the Rams. In that game, I think he had 4 tackles, 3 tackles, 4 losses, and 2 quarterback sacks. Come on. I mean, he didn't need all that. Now, for some people, they need it because they're not guaranteed a spot on the team. But there are players, they don't need all this weeks of training camp. And, what can Everson Griffin learn in a training camp today that he hasn't been through? Nothing, really. I mean, he's been through everything as long as he's played in this league. So it's interesting how it all goes. But I think with Taylor, it basically came down to numbers. And the same thing basically with Tommy Lee Lewis. He's a favorite of Sean Payton's. I don't think there's any question about it. N'Keal was the biggest surprise to me at corner, because there was a guy that had spent some time in Arizona and then goes to the XFL. Interesting, June Jones does a Monday show with us, and he bragged long before the XFL kicked off, man, I got a cornerback here that's really good, and he can play in the NFL. And all of a sudden, he does a really good job. He didn't get his opportunity, just didn't. So, that really helps a young, undrafted free agent rookie by the name of Keith Washington, who's got some skills. A former quarterback in high school, went to Michigan, didn't work out there. Again, he goes to West Virginia. They're going to give Keith Washington a long look, and he can play the outside corner. That's what they need, because PJ and Patrick Robinson are really inside players. They're really nickel corners, and PJ can play the nickel safety too. But one thing I can tell you is, from talking to a couple of the Saints coaches, man, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is a guy they think is going to play huge this year. They have talked him up big time about what type of impact he can play. And we saw last year his impact as a rookie on this football team. But, man, they are really high on him. So I think if there's a move to be made, it's certainly at the cornerback position to bring in a veteran, because of the fact of depth, injury-wise, and who knows of what happens as the season goes along with the COVID situation.
Mike, I also want to ask you about Nigel Bradham, which we'll get to. Also, we got a lot of LSU stuff I want to get to as well. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, and your questions for Mike D in about 15 minutes. Glad you're hanging out with us. Mike D's here, brought to you by Sazerac Rye. We'll take a break. We'll return on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Premier South Roofing and PremierSouthLA.com because it's not often I can talk about a roofing company that wins ethics awards, but that's Premier South Roofing. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, Super Service Award from Angie's List, and the Torch Award for Ethics in Business from the Better Business Bureau. The Torch Award for Ethics in Business, a roofing company. It's not often you hear that about contractors, but you always hear about it with Premier South Roofing. A better experience with a contractor. You want a contractor that's going to show up on time, do what they say they're going to do, beautiful work at a fair price? That's Premier South Roofing. Hey, look, you can get up on your roof yourself and inspect it if you know what you're looking for, or if you have a ladder, that's all it'll let you get up on your roof. Or just call Premier South Roofing and let them knock it out for you. Roof repairs or roof replacements, they do it all. Premier South Roofing. Online, PremierSouthLA.com. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, North Shore, PremierSouthLA.com.
This is big. Really big. I mean really, really, really big. Because Honda's summer clearance event is going on right now at Richards Honda. With 0 to the 4th power on brand new Honda Civics. That's 0 down, 0 due at signing, 0 security deposit, and 0 first month payment. Plus, summer clearance on every new vehicle in stock. Just another reason why people call Richards Honda the smart choice. I-12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona. Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Our weekly Talk with Mike Detillier is brought to you by the one and only New Orleans original, Cesarac Rye Whiskey.
Remember, 20% off all Pico Way laser tattoo removals all throughout the month of August. You got that tattoo like brain that you want to get rid of? Here's a great chance to do it affordably at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Mike D's with us. Glad to have you hanging out. Mike, I want to get to some LSU stuff in a second, but one more on the Saints. Since we last spoke, the Saints added veteran free agent linebacker Nigel Bradham. Thoughts on the addition and what he might mean for this defense?
About a lot of people, he just depth. No, he's brought in to be the starter. I'm just telling you. I know one thing in Nigel's mind, he's going to be the starter on the strong side on this football team. He's a big, physical linebacker, puts himself in a good position to make plays against the run. He's solid in the coverage part of the game. He still runs really well, east-west. And I think if everybody's healthy, that's the big if. He would start on the strong side, DeMario on the weak side, Alex Anzalone in the middle. I think that's what you would look at as the starters. And all I'm telling you, man, he is a very competitive guy, a real sharp football player. And listen, when you play for Jim Schwartz, and Jim is a guy that is a master tinkerer. I mean, every game he tinkers around with the defense, and he does a really good job of it. No, you got to be sharp to play that. And he's played in a lot of big games in Philly. So I think that, yes, he was added to add depth. They didn't give that to Nigel on the memo. No, he thinks he's brought in. He's going to be the starter. No, I'm just telling you. And I think if healthy, Davis, Bradham, Anzalone would be your three starters. Now, the Saints play about 70% or maybe a little bit more of nickel. So one of those guys are out of there. But still, to get him this late, it came down to finances. Could you come up with the right deal? But I think that's a real solid pickup for this football team late in the process.
Mike Detillier is with us on Twitter at Mike Detillier. Mike, I've been really wanting to talk about this with you in particular. Ed Ogeron mentioned earlier in the week, really gushed about Chris Curry. I'm switching, obviously, from Saints to LSU. He gushed about Chris Curry. Mike, what have we learned about Curry now that we didn't know last year before the Oklahoma game? You know, that's had him now to where he seems to have leapfrogged the other two guys that he was behind last year.
I think one of the things is I think Ed respected the fact he didn't leave. The fact that John Emery and Tyron coming in here, that it would have been an easy, hey, tag me, I'm out. I'm going to play somewhere. And he waited his turn, and he got better. And physically, man, you stand up next to him, man, he is pieced together. I mean, like he's chiseled out of stone. And we always knew he was a good inside runner. And now he's worked really hard on being that blitz pickup guy, that guy that can catch the football coming out of the backfield a little bit cleaner than maybe he did in the past. But I think Ed loves his toughness, not only as a player but mentally. Because a lot of running backs who have had that type of success, if you're in junior high school and then you got to sit, come on, man, I want to play. But basically him telling Coach O, hey, when you're going to give me a chance, I'm going to show you how good I am. And he sure did. And now you see it. And I agree with Ed that he's one of those type of guys. The more you challenge him, the better he becomes. But, Matt, I'm going to throw something out at you. Other than Eric Gilbert, tell me the other freshman on offense that every time Ed has opened his mouth, he's talked about.
Keishawn Boutte?
Nope. Covontre Bradford at running back. Listen to those tapes when he does those shows on Tuesday. Every time, if he's been on this channel or on other channels, when he brings up offensive players, Bradford's name comes out of his mouth. He's trying to tell you something. Again, he's not writing you a story, but he's telling you something about Bradford. And it's early in the process, but he's telling you something there about Bradford. But listen to that every time they ask him about an offensive player, the freshman, Bradford's name comes out of his mouth. Now, Gilbert's first on that list, But Bradford and Booty are 2 and 3. But Bradford's out of his mouth very quickly. He is trying to tell you something, okay? That this kid is really good, that I'm telling you how good he is. And he's saying it over and over and over again about Bradford as a running back. And he wasn't one of these guys that was, I think he's probably was a top 20 back, 25 back or whatever. But I don't even think he was one of the top dozen players in the state of Texas. I think he was like 18, 19, somewhere in that range. And now, every time that question gets asked about, man, who's impressed you on offense? I know, it's not in pads and all, but who's impressed you? And, he'll bring up Gilbert, brings up Bradford. Interesting.
How does a fourth running back factor in, though, Mike? That's hard for me to – I'm with you. That's hard for me to reconcile how that works out.
I don't know how it works out. I'm just telling you, he is trying to explain something without driving it home, that he is continually bringing up Bradford's name. Every time he opens his mouth about freshman players on offense, just like he's done about Jaquelin Roy or Guillory or Josh White on defense or Elias Ricks. He's brought up those 4 names, and the 2 pass rushers, BJ, he's brought up over and over again. Yeah. On offense, the 2 guys he's mentioned more than anybody else has been Gilbert and Bradford. How that fits in, I have no idea. But I'm just telling you, he is trying to explain to you something that he sees in Bradford that he really likes. Either that or he wouldn't say it. I mean, you kind of got to pry him a little bit for information, but he'll give it to you if you ask him the right questions. And he has said it over and over again about Coventry.
I'm not calling you a liar, Mike. I'm just curious how it's all going to work out. That's all.
No, you can't call me a liar because it's on tape. No, he has said it.
All right, Mike's with us. He's on Twitter at Mike Detillier. Mike, one more thought on LSU before we break and we get to listener questions. Obviously, it's going to be unorthodox, right, how they're going to handle things with the delayed start now. What do you expect from Coach O and from this sort of, Mike, I don't know what to call it, a modified fall camp, which they're not really going to have fall camp between now and the start of the season in September?
I think the easy part is the pitch and catch part of the game. I think that comes quickly. The hardest part is going to be on defense because you can't really simulate a game. You can a little bit in a practice, but the angles to get to a ball carrier or to make a tackle, that's the hardest thing to get back on defense. And now, today, you can see why most of these guys don't want to play defense. They want to play on offense. Man, you had a disadvantage. But I think the physicality part of the offensive defensive line, but mostly on defense, that ability to get the right angle to make a tackle and the pull down and the tackle properly today, I think that's the hardest thing. The mental part of a new scheme, you would make, all I know is they made mistakes last year with a defense they knew. Mm-hmm. So they're going to make mistakes this year with a new defense, but I think it's the physical part of it. That's where I do think the pitch and catch part of the game, the teams that can really do that well and jump on you like a bad cat, man, you got trouble early in the season. And if you fall behind 20-0 or 20-6 in a game, you're in trouble because, again, that ability to score and score quickly in the pitch and catch part of the game and to find the mismatches downfield are going to be there and wide open early in the season. The hard part is getting down the physical part, and mostly on defense. Now, for years, you'd hear the story, defenses have the advantage early in the season. That ain't the case, not anymore. I mean, I can practice pitching and catching with receivers and tight ends all I want. I can do that individually. Hey, let's go throw the football, and that sort of thing. I do think the defense is now, again, put in a bad situation. But that's for every team in college football. And the physical part of getting into the right spot and making the tackle properly. And now today, you're zoned to hit a guy. is so limited. You can't hit him low. You can't hit him high. You know, your strike zone is pretty tight into that. I think that's going to be the hardest part of getting everything down, because I think the other stuff will come very quickly.
Mike D's with us. Mike, we'll knock out our final break, come back and wrap up hour number 2. If you got a question for Mike, get it in. You know how. Email me, matt@1045ESPN.com. Tweet me at Matt Moscona at 1045ESPN. You can jump in the Bayou Ford Huddle or in our YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Your questions for Mike next.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends over at Carriages in Bocage, online at carriagesbr.com. Carriagesbr.com. Check out our friends over at Carriages, because it's an amazing time to go stock up on those summer wardrobe items, especially right now while you're getting toward the end of the season. You can find things that are discounted from great brands like Luciano Barbera. If you want that sport coat or that dress shirt, or maybe even the swimsuit. Look, today it was 93 degrees. It ain't like we're going to be done with pool or beach weather anytime soon. So go pick up a swimsuit, or pick up a Peter Millar performance gear, or a Johnny O brand knit polo. You can find it all at Carriages in Bocage. They have the best selection of any men's clothier in Baton Rouge, the best in-house tailor. It's why year after year after year, they keep winning the Best of 225 Best Men's Clothier Award and the Best of 225 awards. It's Carriages in Bocage. Find out what so many have known for 30 years and what I know. Go see our friends at Carriages in Bocage.
Divorce is hard. Divorce is messy. Divorce is exhausting. The law offices of O.C. Brown walked me through my divorce and helped me find the right solution for me, my kids, my finances, and my property. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Here at Corval Toyota, we don't just sell cars, we buy them too. Bring your car in so we can see it, and within minutes, you can turn your car into cash or trade it in towards your next vehicle. It's a fast and easy process. We buy your car at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2.
After further review with Matt Moscona, Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Our weekly Talk with Mike Detillier is brought to you by the one and only New Orleans original, Cesarac Rye Whiskey.
All right, wrapping up our hour with Mike Detillier. You know the drill. Your questions for Mike, get them in. You could tweet me at Matt Moscona at 1045 ESPN. You can jump in the huddle or on the YouTube chat on the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Get your questions in right there. All right, Mike D, we'll get to it. This was an interesting one via email from Warren. It said, Mike D, do you think Drew Brees can really improve and try to throw more deep balls?
That ain't his mantra. Come on, that's not his wheelhouse. Never has been. Even when he was 21, 22 years old. Now, again, I get what you're doing in the offseason. Okay, I understand it. That's not what Drew does best. You know, he's a short, intermediate passer. Now, does it help his medium game? Now, that's the big part of it. Man, how many deep passes do you hit in a game? You know, I know Slinger used to say this. Steve Ensminger would always say, man, Mike, you got 4 or 5 opportunities in a game to throw a deep ball. And you got to hit on most of them. Like he says, you won't hit on all of them, but how many times you see a guy wide open and it didn't come up with the catch? No, it's the medium part of the game was what I'm interested in. Man, I ain't worried about, come on, Drew Brees ain't whipping the ball 70 yards downfield. That's not his game, never was. What I'm interested in, does he have more oomph on that 15, 20-yard route where I think that's fallen a little bit, you know, throughout the years. Man, he's great in that short part of the game. But the Saints don't call a lot of deep passes, and when they call it, normally the guy's wide open, you know. And in the playoff game, who threw the deep ball?
Taysom
Hill.
And,
So,
and he underthrew it.
And he underthrew it, is right. So here's my deal, and that's a great storyline. Man, I could give a damn less about the deep ball. My thing is, can you improve that, maybe what you want to call the deep middle passes? Because I think that's an important part of the game that gets defenses to come off the short part of coverage, more so than the real deep football, which he's never been known for that.
Ask Mike, could you see Benny Fowler making the Saints as a 5th wide receiver or be the stretch the field guy?
No, I think if Fowler makes this team, it's because of special teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he's done that. He did that in Denver. He was like that with the Giants. It's going to be a tough role for him to make this football team. But if he makes it, it won't be because of his stretch speed. It'll be because he is a really good special teams player.
Mike, here's another one asking percent chances of Clowney or Griffin signing with the Saints. Mike, I'm sure you can understand there's just a huge fan infatuation with those two guys and where they're going to land. But go ahead.
I would not rule it out. But, man, the kind of money Clowney's looking for, I can't see. And, you know, and I think that they had some conversations with both. Mm-hmm. But I think financially, how do you fit it in? And it's a want at this state, and look what you gave up for Davenport. Yeah. You know, this is his season, and he's got to stay healthy. That it's not because of his play; it's the health part of it. And I think to bring in somebody like that, you're going to have to say, okay, you're going to be the starter. Okay, you're not bringing in Clowney and Griffin to sit on the bench. You know, I think the big key defensively up front is the development of Carl Granderson at defensive end, who's a tall drink of water. Man, he ain't got much on the hoof. But, man, you know, he didn't see any time in the summer. You know, he had some issues he had to clear up. And he comes in, and all of a sudden he's on the field as a designated pass rusher with no training camp, nothing. He's a guy that I would be intrigued with. I think along with Deontay Harris on offense, how much more they use him as a receiver. Those two guys for me are the most interesting to watch because of their ability and also, too, to flip it. Harris can flip the field right away. And the fact that Granderson missed all that time and he's coming in and he's your designated pass rusher at times, that's impressive.
Last one, ask Mike, do you see Kiko Alonso making the roster?
If he's healthy, yes.
Okay.
Because he's a multi-position player. He's smart. You know what you're going to get from Kiko. But, man, the big question mark is health. It's the same as Anzalone. They're both good players. It's just, can they stay healthy for a 16-game season and plus?
Yeah.
Man, I want everybody healthy come January. That I think is the big key for the Saints' success this year of health. And I think that'll be like that for every team, and more so this year than any other year.
He is Mike Detillier. Our chat's brought to you every week, courtesy of our friends over at Sazerac Rye, the one and only New Orleans original Sazerac Rye whiskey. You can find Mike's stuff, saintsreport.com, MikeDetillier.com, part of the Saints News Network over at SI.com, and every Thursday right here on AFR. Mike D, you're the man. We appreciate you as always.
Thank you, Matthew.
We'll talk next week. This is After Further Review. We'll kick off Hour 3. Rohan Davey rejoins the show in about 20 minutes. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You know, if you're building a home or if you're replacing your windows right now, do it right the first time. Got a relative built a home 5 years ago. They're already having to replace windows in that home. Beautiful home. Already got to replace windows. Rot. Energy efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. You install it once and you're done. And those windows come with a lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. Make a lifetime decision with Relief Windows. Instead of having to replace your windows every 4 or 5 years, do it once. Be done. Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding, and they are hiring. If you or someone you know is looking for a career instead of a job, check out Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
This is big. Really big. I mean really, really, really big. Because Honda's summer clearance event is going on right now at Richards Honda. With 0 to the 4th power on brand new Honda Civics. That's 0 down, 0 due at signing, 0 security deposit, and 0 first month payment. Plus, summer clearance on every new vehicle in stock. Just another reason why people call Richards Honda the smart choice. I-12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
We're less than a minute away from hour 3 of AFR. Quick Sports Center update for you. Looks like Jim Harbaugh and Ryan Day got into it a little bit over a conference call today. Harbaugh reportedly interrupted Ohio State's Ryan Day, accusing the Buckeyes of breaking the rules regarding on-field instruction. Harbaugh asked Day about a photo that purportedly showed Buckeyes assistant Al Washington working with Ohio State's linebackers. Looks like the drama's about to ensue. Checking in on the NBA action from today. Well, first of all, we know the Pelicans already lost 140-125. The Kings beat the Pelicans. Still going on in the NBA. The Heat are up 84-82 over the Bucks. That is in the third, and the Suns are up 94-83 over the Pacers. That one is in the fourth. In Major League Baseball, we've got one final to report right now. The Pirates have beat the Twins 6-5. Hour 3 of AFR coming your way now.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Joseph Rodriguez.
Hey, Joe, what you doing?
And
the brain
got a poop. Hey, Brain.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yeah. I hate this thing.
It's so good. Hey, you did that story there at the top of the hour, Brain, about so explain it again. So Jim Harbaugh and Ryan Day are apparently on a conference call together, and what happens now?
So during a conference call, I'm just reading this from ESPN, among Big Ten coaches, this was back on Monday. Harbaugh reportedly interrupted Ohio State's Ryan Day and accused the Buckeyes of breaking rules regarding on-field instruction. Well, apparently it's gotten a little testy between the two.
So apparently, I just saw this from Field Yates on Twitter. I looked up the story that you did. Apparently, after Harbaugh accused Ohio State of breaking rules on that conference call, Ryan Day reportedly told his players in a team meeting, Michigan better hope for a mercy rule this year because the Buckeyes are, quote, going to hang 100 on them. One of the things that I say all the time is I want sports to be more like pro wrestling, more like UFC, mainstream sports. I want media availability to look like this. I want rival coaches saying, look out, because we're going to hang 100 on them. The only thing that would have made that better is if Ryan Day on the teleconference had said, hey, Jim, you little B word, you better hope there's a mercy rule, brother, because we're coming after you. The Hulkamania is going to hang a 100 on you in the first half, and you're going to be begging for the mercy rule, brother, because here comes 60 straight up your donkey. Like, wouldn't that be so much better?
100 times better.
So why would everybody do that?
I don't know.
I do it.
I appreciate Harbaugh, though. He's got to find some way to beat Ohio State.
No! So that rivalry is so strange because for much of my life, the whole thing with Michigan-Ohio State was that Ohio State could never beat Michigan. Like, John Cooper could never beat Michigan. The joke was, the old joke was, where do you find the winner of the Ohio State-Michigan game? Across the field. Because Ohio State's fight song is across the field. So it's like, that was a joke forever, and it's like, now it's completely flipped, man. But the other thing, too, and Jim Harbaugh, so two other things real quick, because I don't want to spend a ton of time in this, and Rohan Davey in 10 minutes. But two other things. One, Jim Harbaugh should be careful because you know what they say about like living in a glass house and throwing rocks and stuff like that. Like, man, you better be careful calling out other people because once you point a finger, you're going to have 3 more pointed back at you. And you're going to have people trying to find misgivings within your program that they can point out. So, I mean, look, Hugh Freeze stepped in it with this, right? I mean, Hugh Freeze, when gave out the number to the Ole Miss compliance department, please send complaint. Well, look how that worked out, man. You basically dared everybody to out you, and ultimately it happened. The other part of that, too, is Jim Harbaugh is accusing Ohio State. You know, there's a picture surfaces of Ohio State's linebackers coach working with players. Okay. I mean, the NCAA allowed for this walkthrough period, right? This football school. You don't really think every program in the country just let's just have walkthroughs. Oh, we can use a ball, but we're not really going to do any instruction. We're just going to walk through. I mean, really? You don't think everybody was doing more than they were actually allowed to do? I mean, I know, aghast, right? Oh, not my school. Yes, your school. All of the schools. You're going to put 108 football players on the field with their coaches, and you think they're going to have a stopwatch for the length of their practice and only doing walkthroughs? Nobody's going to throw a pass? It's like putting a bunch of kids in a kitchen when you're making cookies and you walk out and you say, hey, look now, don't lick the bowl. I don't want anybody licking the bowl, okay? You can't lick the bowl. We're making cookies. You can stay in here, but don't lick the bowl. What you think you're going to do, man? Full tongue on the spoon. That's what fat kids do. When we were kids and my mom would make cinnamon rolls, you know how you can get the canned cinnamon rolls? And in the canned cinnamon rolls, there's the little plastic tub of the icing in there. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? So we used to have to I don't know, paper, rock, scissors or whatever we did for who got to lick the little canister, who got to lick the lid, and who got the knife. Because, you had to get the knife to spread, the butter knife to spread the icing. So it's the little canister always had the most on there.
It did.
And the knife was 2, and the lid was if you got the lid, you lost.
And the bottom side of the lid, you're probably going to cut your tongue.
No, because then you just take your finger and you just get the icing on your finger and you lick your finger. Trust me. I know all the tricks, Brain.
No middleman. No middleman on the finger. We're going straight tongue.
Yep. Well, if you had the plastic container, you could go straight tongue. You just lick that thing straight. Yeah, for sure. All right, it's after further review. So, but give me more contentious press conferences, please. Give me more of that. Give me more Roll Tide What F You in public. Give me more of that, please. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're with us. Yesterday, this was good too. So yesterday, Will Muschamp apparently told in a press conference reporters that the SEC was planning on testing 3 times a week during the football season. SEC spokesman Herb Vincent did not confirm that when reached by Brooks Cabina of The Advocate. This is also very good, though. Will Muschamp now has gone on to the Paul Feinbaum show, and this is from the official Feinbaum Twitter. Will Muschamp said that his players need to lead boring lives, quote, boring lives, to avoid contracting the virus. Quote, I look back to your high school days and your college days. I can't imagine you had many dates. Our guys need to lead their lives like Paul Feinbaum did in college. End quote.
More of that, too.
Yes! Give me more of that. Make sports fun. Fun, 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 fun. Why can't we have fun? Yes, make sports fun again. Please take shots at the squirrely looking toilet bowl hair guy who weighs about 80 pounds. And yes, make fun of that guy. He deserves it. He's a caricature. He doesn't mind. But I'll say this about testing. And I know this is going to sound dumb to some of you, but I would really challenge you to consider it. Why we feel like we need to test asymptomatic athletes so frequently. The athletic director at Northwestern, his name is Greg Burke. He said more tests, more swabs, more strain on the labs presents a moral issue. Quote, asymptomatic athletes getting routine tests are adding to the region's total tests, and labs have to choose which patients get their test results back first. Quote, so you're going to test a 20-year-old asymptomatic player to make sure he can play? In the meantime, here's a 70-year-old who really needs to have a test because they're high risk. What's more important? When you get right down to basic human rights, what's more important? Finding out if the 20-year-old can run out on the field, or finding out if that 70-year-old, if there's anything about that test that will maybe necessitate additional treatment that they need to get sooner or later. I'll keep coming back to this. Like, I go to work every day. I'm not tested. Brain, Joe Rod here, we're not routinely tested for COVID. You go to work, your kids are going to school. Are they being tested every day? You go out to the grocery, are the grocery store employees being tested every day? Or the restaurant workers that are serving you being tested every day? You're going to the gym. Is everybody in that gym being tested every day before you walk in? Why do we feel the need to test elite physical specimens every day or 3 times a week? Why do we feel the need to incur that cost and to strain labs and have people make choices about that? Why do we feel the need for this? It basically boils down to one thing. How much risk are you willing to take? And there's a lot of athletes who have said, I'm not willing to take that risk. And so they're opting out. Now, I only think that's smart if you're opting out and then you're just going to go live at your house and never go anywhere, because if you actually go to the store or to the gym or to wherever, you're putting yourself at greater risk than you would being in the NFL's bubble or college football's bubble. That's the part of this whole thing. Well, there's many parts of this whole thing that are just confounding, but that's one that I just can't wrap my head around. Why we feel, and it's not just me, point at the athletic director at Northwestern. Why we feel the need to test asymptomatic young people over and over and over and over again is just mind-boggling to me. All right, it's after further review. Let me talk to Rohan Davey. Been a minute. We'll talk to Ro about how you get ready in an unusual offseason like this. Ask him his feelings, if he would have been comfortable playing. He's also a dad of high school athletes. He's comfortable letting his children play sports this season. Talk with Ro. Always enjoy having our guy with us. He'll be there next. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. Think real estate. Think Darren James. Go to the website, agent225.com. Tap our listings right there at the top of the page, and you'll see every one of Darren's listings. It could be your home. Here's one on Windsor Avenue, new on the site today. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,200 square foot for $164,900. You can check that out right now at agent225.com. Stanton Hall, $249,900, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, just over 2,000 square feet. That could be your home. Here's one on Gingerwood Avenue in Five Oaks Estates in Baton Rouge, $509,900, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, over 3,000 square feet, gorgeous curb appeal. Check that out right now at agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, call the agent that sells more homes than anyone. Call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666. Think real estate? Think Darren James.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Citizens Bank is proud to bring you the Fan of the Week. But during these times with no fans, Citizens Bank is switching its support to the Banking on BR campaign to raise money for the Baton Rouge Food Bank. You can help out by visiting brfoodbank.org or bankingonbr.com.
1045 ESPN invites you to take a short quiz for a chance to win a brand new EU1000 generator from our friends at Bozeman Distributors. Simply go to 1045ESPN.com now through August 16th and take the quiz to see how prepared you are for hurricane season. Everyone who takes the quiz is automatically entered to win the generator. Our winner will be chosen on Monday, August 17th. Get prepared for hurricane season from 1045 ESPN and stay prepared with Bozeman Distributors.
Divorce is hard. Divorce is messy. Divorce is exhausting. The law offices of O.C. Brown walked me through my divorce and helped me find the right solution for me, my kids, my finances, and my property.
Call the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Rohan Davey. It's now time to talk LSU football with former Tiger quarterback Rohan Davey. Presented by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. If it's on the lot, it's online at SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Rohan, you ever seen a woman letting her concealer bake?
Yeah.
Oh, I love dusting that off and still getting that reaction from you. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. I guess doing as good as everybody else. How you doing?
Well,
you've been celebrating some things lately, haven't you?
Yes.
That's awesome, dude.
Lots of things. And
Yeah,
really,
man.
I baited you into
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Well, what are you like Drew had a birthday.
Yeah, but I saw you like won an award or something.
Yeah, so Best of 225 came out this month and was named Best Radio Personality. So that's really cool. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes. But really, I was just now you're being nice to me. I was just baiting you into this conversation. You thinking we're going to talk about sports, but really, I just want to chastise you because you owe me dinner and you still haven't bought it for me yet.
Oh shit! I'm not going in any restaurants right now.
Is that that was the longest drawn out line?
Oh, God.
Is that your excuse? Is that you're not going to any restaurants? All right, let me ask you a question.
No, I got you.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, you got me. Good thing I don't need that meal to live.
I know that's right.
Would you let your would you let your children? I don't think you'd mind me saying this. You have 2 children that are high school athletes. Would you let them play this year?
Listen, bro. It's a tough thing because my daughter's a sophomore and my son's a senior. So I don't want my son to miss out or miss his senior year. You know, for me, Matt, it's all based on what they doing. You know, I want him to play, so I would let him play. Right, and the same thing with my daughter. Like today, when I picked her up from school today and going over what they did throughout the day and what's different and at school, and everything's different. You eating in your classrooms. You could go out to eat with your class like once a week when you're deemed, to go outside. Everything's prepackaged. All that. Or chapel is e-chapel. We're in classrooms to do it now, and I think it's wonderful. That they're doing all these precautions, and you want to see the same thing from the sports realm. Because the thing about it is this: if we're going to be dealing with this, we're going to have to learn how to deal with it and move and function with it as well.
Yep.
And we can't just say, okay, you kids can't play and enjoy your sport or go after and chase your dreams or whatever you want to do. I would be receptive to it if there weren't any guidelines. They weren't trying to do anything to say, just come back and play. Then no. But, yeah, I would.
Okay. Would you play if either collegiately or in the NFL? Would you play or would you opt out?
Then again, the same thing. I see guys doing that based on whether they have family at home, pregnancy at home, whatever's going on within their home system. I think it'd have to be that, but it'll be the same thing for me. But for the college and the NFL part of it, I think that they can control more of going towards the bubble situation, like what everyone's trying. You can go and get a hotel and sequester whatever floors or a hotel, and you can manage it that way where these guys, including the college athletes, aren't around, say, the normal family structure that they normally would be. And it would be up to those guys to also, adhere to whatever it is that they're putting in place to try to make that work. Because we got to try to make it work some way, man. You know what I mean? We got to try to make it work to get on to the new normalcy as possible. And I think if it was like what the NBA is doing or what I've seen like the Tampa Bay Bucks and even the Saints have proposed doing with sequestering these guys in hotels, I think the NFL honestly should have been bubbling these guys months ago to have it lead up to where you can have some semblance of trying to start the season on time, because now you're starting the process when in my opinion, should have started a long time ago and implemented the bubble and implemented guys coming back early and all that type of thing. If you was really wanting to get the season started on time, I don't think they should have sat back and waited. And I think that's part of the reason why guys are opting out, because there's no true definition of a plan from the NFL's perspective. But if they came up with a plan and it was sequestered like the NBA and bubbleized, and I think Power 5 conferences like the SEC, I think they can go to the same thing, then yeah, I would play.
Now, there's not going to be a bubble.
No, I know. I said if. I know.
No,
I know there's not.
But given what we know now, would you still play?
That's a tough question. If I'm in college, I'm playing. If I'm in the NFL, it just depends on what my family dynamics and situation is.
Okay. Rohan Davies with us, former LSU quarterback. Let's zero in here on college for a minute. What do you think about, like, when we obviously haven't seen the schedule yet, exactly what it's going to look like, but we know LSU is going to play the SEC is going to play 10-game SEC only schedule. What do you think about that?
I love it.
Me too, right?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. I never thought anyway that the SEC needed to play out of conference because they so stacked always in conference. So I think that now they make it interesting and give you a chance to play some of them teams that you normally, wouldn't face on the other side in a normal thing. Like I think, LSU, Georgia regular, I think that'd be exciting. Just mix it up a little bit. So I love it, man. I love it.
What about as a player? Because this is what I hear the other thing, too, is people say, well, you need those tune-up games early in the season. What do you think about that?
Well, yes, in a normal circumstance, in normal situations, maybe. But let me say this. We're not the only ones that's going to be starting out the gate having to get it. So are those other teams as well. So that's why from the beginning of this what's been going on, the teams with veteran quarterbacks and veteran players, especially offensively. Defensively, you could get away with it because guys could be flying around and so on and so forth. It always takes offenses a little bit longer. But these teams that's coming back with these veteran quarterbacks and these veteran leaders on the offensive side of the ball, those are the teams, in my opinion, that are going to be successful early.
So
when they say that, I buy it as far as like you need tune-ups. I mean, hell, we all would like a tune-up.
Bro, I'm with you, man. I hate watching the garbage games that nobody wants to see. Like, give me 10 SEC games over a 12-game schedule that includes 3 barf games that nobody cares about.
Right?
I mean, as a player, wouldn't you rather go up against that schedule than we got Tennessee Tech this week?
Yes, no doubt about it.
So is LSU one of those? You mentioned teams with veteran quarterbacks and OCs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is LSU one of those teams?
I think LSU is in a very unique position when it comes to that. I say yes and no, so to speak, because I say yes. Forget no. I say yes.
Okay.
I say yes. Yes, LSU is in that position. We're definitely in that position.
I'm laughing partly at you and partly at Brain laughing over there.
Who?
Brian Haldane. Musso is doing the morning show now, so the Brain's back. Brian Haldane. And so he's over there laughing. He's over there laughing at you, trying to make up your mind if you're a yes or a no.
No, I'm yes.
Okay, you're a yes. We got that.
I'm yes.
Got it.
I'm yes.
Okay.
Because we have a new signal caller. He's been there, but he's a new signal caller. So, yes, we're in that boat. And we have new signal callers behind him. So, yes, we're in that boat. Our unique position, though, is we're loaded like a baked potato with weapons all over the place. That's why I say it's a unique position, because our signal caller, and I know everyone's saying it's going to be Miles, and he's been anointed. I don't like to anoint. I like to have them feud it out and fight it out and create some kind of adversity and create some kind of uncomfortability within the position. I don't like a guy just going in and thinking he the man and he ain't really done nothing to be the man yet but be there. So I would love to see a competition and just have, and I know Coach O is going to hold their feet to the fire and get them going as much as possible, because this is the time where you need it. You need to be held to the fire with this short season, and you need some adversity during training and some adversity you got to create adversity as much as you can right now, because they haven't been able to get on the field. Yeah. And that's the part about it that's going to hurt them. Haven't been able to get on the field, haven't been able to go through those normal reps and stuff that you would take.
You weren't still playing in 2011, were you?
No.
Okay. Because 2011 was the lockout year, and so a lot of NFL teams had to basically have player-led workouts.
Yeah.
And there's
I remember it.
There's some of that. I wasn't a part of it. There's some of that this year, Ro. Like Ed Orgeron said it, that the LSU players, just like last summer, had player-led workouts, organized workouts on Saturdays out there. So, is it one of those things where you think, like, let's say they retool the schedule, and on September the 26th, LSU opens with Auburn. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. Nobody knows right now. But let's just say hypothetically, LSU's got to open with Auburn on September 26th. I mean, is that a situation where you just think they're churning from go?
Say it again.
Is that one of the situations where you think they hit the ground running, or they're just churning from the word go?
Against Auburn?
Well, I'm just throwing out a hypothetical, right? I mean, it's going to be a conference game, whoever it is.
Oh, I know. I
So-
know. Yeah, you got to come out. But you got to come out. Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's no, like you said, there's no makeup. There's no, it's very interesting, brother. Coach is going to have to coach and players going to have to play and everybody going to have to be on their damn P's and Q's early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, from the jump, man, we out the gate. Whatever we start, we out the gate and we go.
When you buy me dinner.
We definitely go. There's no relaxing. Not with this season. No.
I said, when are you buying me dinner?
Oh, when we get into like phase 4. Phase 4.
You had all of January and all of February and half of March.
We were all. Oh, that was before.
Mm-hmm.
Now February we were kind of locked down. February, that was at the Mardi
man.
Gras. That was at the Mardi Gras. Yeah, that was right after Mardi Gras. I
Bro,
was
the
scared.
lockdown, they didn't cancel sports until March 13th, man.
Oh, I ain't talking about no sports. I'm talking about when COVID hit. I ain't talking about when they canceled things. I didn't go off of the governor or the president.
Nobody
I
was.
shut it down.
You.
What's wrong with you? I have my own executive order. You know what I'm saying?
My point is, nobody was shut down yet at that point, Ro. It wasn't until middle and late March that everybody started shutting down.
See, you missing what I'm saying, dog. You missing
I'm
what I'm
not
saying.
missing what you're saying.
I'm not talking about when everybody else decided that they wanted to quarantine themselves. I'm talking about when I heard this coming from over there in Hunan, China.
So when you saw Italy having trouble, you're like, oh, man, I'm locking myself in my house.
When Jamaica shut it down, I shut it down.
When was that?
Hey, we shut it down before the U.S., I'll tell you that.
All right. I'll give you a little bit of a lead.
But we could go to dinner, man. That dinner ain't
No.
problem.
I don't want to see you for dinner. Nope.
My little girl is going to dinner with us, so don't just think it's just me and you.
That's fine. Bring your son, too. Bring everybody. All I know is you're paying.
Listen, let's not go with everybody. We can bring the son and the daughter.
Do you want me to bring Haldane?
No.
All right.
Why you can only bring people that's related to you.
Okay. You want me to bring Erica?
Yes.
All right.
I'd love to meet her.
All right. Where are we going?
I think you won, huh?
I know. I told you I'm not a cheap date either.
Neither am I. So
I know.
trust me, I'm with you.
No.
I'm with you.
All right.
Neither
Maybe,
am
you know
I.
what we should do, Ro? We should get our dinner sponsored so you don't actually have to pay.
Hey, listen, I'm always all in for not paying.
I know you are.
You know I am.
We'll find a
I
place.
had somebody hit me up the other day and asked me something about my dad's sock. He told me, did I get you for all my dad's sock? I said, no, I sure haven't.
Wait, did you what?
Did I get all my dad's socks? My socks from
You have gotten more dead socksy than anybody else, Ro. By the way, I got mine on. I wish you were watching. I wish you were here. I could show you. These were the Father's Day ones. They got some gray in the purple and gold on these. They're awesome. Really, really sharp on these.
Yeah, I'm sure you found it in that big box of 100 you have underneath your desk.
Ro, but I have that box because every AFR guest gets a gift from Dead Soxy. It's not like I take them all home with me. I give them to our guests. And then you come and you're like, hey, I need some more socks. And you pillage that box.
Listen, whenever I get to that box,
Nobody has gotten more Dead Soxy, Pluckers gift cards. You take our Rain, and you're like, hey, man, I need a case of that Dreamsicle Rain energy drinks, by the way. I need a
I
case
love
of
that
it.
Dreamsicle.
I know you do. I know you do. I know you do.
Dreamsicle, man. I love that Dreamsicle.
All right.
I'll tell you, that's the best thing ever. Dreamsicle, and don't worry about it. It's very good.
All right. All right, you owe me dinner.
I do.
It's good to talk to you, man. I hope you're doing well. We'll visit soon, all right?
Let's do it, partner.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right,
That's Rowan Davey, former LSU quarterback. great friend and great friend of the show. And yes, there's nobody that's gotten more Dead Soxy than Rohan Davey. All guests on AFR do receive a gift from Dead Soxy. You can go to deadsoxy.com, S-O-X-Y, deadsoxy.com. Let me remind you, if you go to the homepage right now, they got some great deals right now on their socks. You can use the promo code GO, G-E-A-U-X. Use the promo code GO, and they'll take an additional 30% off already discounted items. So, like, they have, like, the whole season pack of the no-shows discounted from $119 to $59. You can get an additional 30% off that right now if you go to deadsoxy.com and use the promo code GO. If it's the no-shows, the boardroom, all the different styles from this season, here's your shot, man. Like, so much of this stuff, as they move this seasonal stuff, it's already on sale. Go to deadsoxy.com, tap on some of the sale items, use the promo code GO, G-E-A-U-X, get an additional 30% off. Like, one of the pairs is like $11. Use the promo code, get an additional 30% off. Get for like $6. It's crazy. Do it right now. Deadsoxy.com. S-O-X-Y. Deadsoxy.com. It's after further review. We'll knock out a break. Come back. Otter Locks coming up in about 15 minutes from right now. Glad you're hanging on a Thursday edition of AFR. We'll be back.
AFR.
Buy local, shop local, Clegg's Nursery. Tell you that every single day. Love supporting great local businesses like Clegg's Nursery that have supported our community for 60 years. But it's not just about supporting local businesses. It's about supporting local businesses that do great work. Clegg's Nursery, full greenhouses. Any of the 4 locations you go to. And you know this. If you're a gardener, you know about Clegg's. But if you're just the weekend gardener, which is totally cool, you just have a couple hours on the weekend to make your yard pop, you need Clegg's because their horticulturists have all of the know-how. Get on by Clegg's Nursery. Just, if you don't know what to plant, take a picture of your yard or your garden, bring it into Clegg's, say, hey, this is my outdoor space. What can I do that would look good here? And they'll give you great suggestions. That's what I do. And remember, they're partnered with True Value Hardware Store. So anything you'd get at a True Value Hardware Store, you can get at Clegg's Nursery. So it's going to save you a trip from having to go multiple places. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in when you go see our friends at Clegg's Nursery.
Here at the Big Squeezy, we continue to serve the Baton Rouge and Southeast Louisiana areas during these troubling times. We are dedicated to providing you healthy food items to help you live your best life. From our cold-pressed juices to our delicious smoothies, let the Big Squeezy keep you going. Stay active, stay happy, and let us help you stay healthy. Visit us at our locations and also inside of Alexander's and Mathern's grocery stores or online at thebigsqueezy.com.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
And thanks again to Rohan Davey for joining us. Remember our chats with Ro, brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online. They are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. If you find yourself in need of a vehicle, if you're shopping, they got you covered. Jetta, Passat, the Arteon, Tiguan, the compact SUV, or of course, the Atlas, the 3-row 7-seater family SUV, South Point Volkswagen. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? A good show today. You miss anything, catch it on demand. Todd Graffinini joined us in hour one. He was on the call for the Pels' loss today against Sacramento, which sucked. Mike D last hour, you just heard Rohan Davey. Speaking of that loss, look, the bottom line is today, Pels gave up 140 points in this ball game. And Gentry was asked what the problem was on defense, and I mean, Brain, we have a moratorium on Gentry, but I guess we'll go ahead and let Alvin Gentry explain why his team can't play defense.
Well, I don't think it's not that we're not playing hard. We're just not into the ball defensively. I think we're trying to compete and doing some things, but, you just can't give up, you can't give up a 49-point quarter, and you can't give up a 40-point quarter in the third quarter. Our defense has to be better from the standpoint of following game plans. And then just the overall effort, I guess, that is what you're talking about. But we just got to be into the ball a lot more, not a little bit more, and we've got to be much more active defensively.
So, Brain, moratorium again on Gentry. That was terrible.
Yeah, that was the better of the two cuts, by the way.
Now, really? Because the other one is that he says there's no margin. I haven't heard any of this, by the way. This all happened since the show started, so Brain cut it, and we have it here now. But so there's no margin for error. We have to win tomorrow?
I mean, yes, in that you just summed up the 30 seconds in 4 seconds.
Okay, Alvin Gentry said there's no margin for error. And Zion said, actually, wait, is this real? Like, is he pulling our leg, or did you just do a very poor job of labeling this? Did Zion say that they don't have a defensive problem? Is that what he actually said? Let me hear this. Yes.
Defensively, I think we're fine. It's just, when a team is, shooting like that, there's only so much you can do. Personally, they were shooting the ball, they were hitting every shot. But I guess we gotta come together as a team, and our coaches have to come together, and we all gotta just figure out how we're going to adjust to it.
Is this a team that is as clueless as they sound? Like they just have no clue how to fix what ails them, which is a very obvious problem? When your superstar is saying, we're not a bad defensive team, they were just making every shot? All right. When Alvin Gentry to start, like, cursing again. I mean, that's when we lifted the moratorium on Gentry. Was whenever he started throwing out expletives in his press conference. Like, whoa, Alvin's got a little fire here. I don't know, you weren't here for that, Brain. But that was actually interesting. It's tough, man. It feels like the fans care more than these players, which is tough to say, I understand, but I can't wrap my head around how you sacrifice everything these players have. You've left your family, your life, to go quarantine. You live in a bubble in Orlando. All you can do is hotel, gym. I think they got some cornhole courses set up or something like that. They shove these Q-tips up your nose and tickle your brain multiple times a day. Like, you're going through all of this for what? To give up 140 points and then go into the post-game press conference and go, yeah, we're not that bad defensively. They just made every shot. Like, can I get some fire from anybody on this team? I mean, you pissed away a great opportunity today. Had you won today and got a little help from Denver tonight, you're sitting there in the 8th seed. And instead now, you have no margin for error. That may sound harsh, but it feels like the fans right now care more than the players. And that's probably a mischaracterization. That's probably unfair. But there's nothing you see that illustrates it otherwise. Hopefully we see it tomorrow, because tomorrow is a must-win. Like, you're dangerously close, depending on what else happens, to being mathematically eliminated if you lose again. Like, they could be out by Monday. So somebody better show some gumption, or it's going to be over. All right, it's after further review. Do some auto locks coming up. Remind you about GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. As a matter of fact, I had a buddy of mine, Dave. He texted me this morning. He said, Matt, I need a contact from someone over at GMFS. Send him Doug Bickley's cell phone number, because Doug is my own personal lender over at GMFS Mortgage, and he can help you out as well, or any of their great local lenders. It's Ryan LaRusso or Aaron Taravella or any of the lenders. There's GMFS Mortgage lenders all over the state, wherever you are. GMFSmortgage.com. Home buy, refi, construction loans. It's GMFS Mortgage. Changing lives. They've been doing it since 1999, helping literally thousands of Louisianians realize the American dream of home ownership, save money by refinancing that mortgage, or helping them build that home of their dreams. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. Okay, y'all, one thing left to do. We'll knock out our final break. When we come back, Jimmy Ott will jump aboard. He'll give you some winners. Otter Locks are coming up. And then after Otter Locks, what we learned. We'll do all that, and then we'll get on down the road. Glad you're hanging out. One segment left to go. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001. For River City's 1 Hour Air, call our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air, have them come out to your house, and let them perform standard maintenance on your AC. I'm hammering this message every single day because it's that important. Because the worst thing that could happen relative to your AC is you have a unit that's been installed and it craps out on you well before it should because you haven't performed the regular standard maintenance on that unit. Just like any other machine, just like your car, well, you get the oil changed every 3,000 miles so that way it continues its performance. It runs efficiently. You got to do that for your AC as well. And River City's 1 Hour Air can do that for just $97. They get it cleaned, running at max efficiency, so that way it will extend the life of that unit. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Here at Corval Toyota, we don't just sell cars, we buy them too. Bring your car in so we can see it, and within minutes, you can turn your car into cash or trade it in towards your next vehicle. It's a fast and easy process. We buy your car at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Our family of restaurants are fired up, and we can't wait to see you safely. Little Village Downtown. Call or go online for offerings and hours. Palermo Ristorante. We're serving great food right now. Little Village on Airline. Reward yourself. Stabs in Central? Nice. Stabs Prime on Jefferson. Steak or seafood? Introducing Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. We're socially responsible from a distance.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, got to go quick. What are we betting on tonight? Let's find out.
Otterlocks.
Jimmy joins us. Jimmy, what's up?
Matthew, how are you, buddy?
Like it.
Here's Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar downtown. It's our permanent Thursday evening home. $1 oysters on a half shell. $1.50 char grill. 2-for-1 drafts. Come on by and see us here at Jolie Pearl.
Awesome spot. You're looking for something to do, get out and see Otter and the gang for game time with Jimmy Otter. All right, what are we betting on tonight, Otter?
The Blue Jays. We go on to the big 6'6" rookie Pearson. He tops out at 104. He's going against Atlanta tonight. 6'10" first pitch. Tucson, down the line pitcher for the Braves. We'll go with the young hitting Toronto Blue Jays. It's the legacy crew. Craig Biggio's kid, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Dante Bichette's kid, Bo Bichette. So we're going with the young kids with the Blue Jays last night, you know?
Did you know that Austin Nola's double last night, Wick Stebbs, the Mariners keyed over the Angels?
Absolutely. You like my haikus?
And it was
my MLB haikus? You like that, huh? So boring just to spell everything out, grammatically sound, and things like that. I mean, this is more creative. I'm an artist on Twitter, okay?
This was at 11:02 p.m. last night. For those who don't know, Jimmy misspelled about 6 words in his tweet. Not just mixed, like, extends is WXTEBDS.
Well, I was so excited for you and the Catholic High product. So back-to-back multi-hit games. I mean, he was the difference. They held on 7-6, but his 2-run double was the difference. And they lose today against the Angels.
All right, hang on.
All
right, were you loaded, or could you just not see your phone?
I'm kind of a little of both, you know. So, you know,
I
love both.
I love the honesty. Well, we'll see tonight who's going to extend the Mariners' Keed over the Angels. Oh, they already played today.
Hey, how about this one for a tough beat today? The Milwaukee Bucks were 9.5. They're down 21 to the Heat. They come back and win by 14.
Oh,
I mean,
brutal.
This NBA, it is not for you. Better be really calm with the NBA if you're going to bet this from game to game to game.
All right, Otter. We got to get out of here, man. Have a good show. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, man. All right, bro. I'll see you
ya.
on the way home.
All right, man.
Bye.
It's Jimmy Yacht. This is After Further Review. Ray, what did you learn today?
I learned that the deep ball is not Drew Brees' mantra.
That ain't his mantra.
Joe Rod, what did you learn today?
I really liked how Rohan has a firm
We got
grasp
20
of-
seconds.
I know.
Hurry
Sorry.
up.
Rohan's knowledge of the
Fine, Joe.
coronavirus is
Thank
high.
you.
Matt, what'd you learn?
I got something on the bottom of my shoe.
That was going to be mine.
AFR.
Brought to Joe Rod. It's got to be quick, bro. He's counting me down. It's like 6 seconds left. You don't have time to elaborate. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. WilliamsonEYE.com, 924-2020. You know what? Honest to goodness, true story. Dr. Blake Williamson, he texted me when we were talking about Jimmy's tweet. He's like, Jimmy needs to come see me. It's so true. If you're like Jimmy Ott and you can't read your phone, you're one of those old people, and no disrespect to old people, but you know who you are, and you can't see your phone, so you got to hold it way out here and down just so you can see it, or you can't read a menu, so you got to turn the light on your phone and shine it on the menu, or dig out your glasses and shine your light because you can't see anything. Go see Dr. Blake Williamson, 924-2020. Go for your free consultation. If it's LASIK or something else, they have a refractive procedure to help you see. 924-2020 or Williamson EYE.
Divorce is hard. Divorce is messy. Divorce is exhausting. The law offices of O.C. Brown walked me through my divorce and helped me find the right solution for me, my kids, my finances, and my property. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Citizens Bank is proud to bring you the Fan of the Week. But during these times with no fans, Citizens Bank is switching its support to the Banking on BR campaign to raise money for the Baton Rouge Food Bank. You can help out by visiting brfoodbank.org or bankingonbr.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Here at Corval Toyota, we don't just sell cars, we buy them too. Bring your car in so we can see it, and within minutes, you can turn your car into cash or trade it in towards your next vehicle. It's a fast and easy process. We buy your car at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
0% for 72 months on all new 2020 F-150s. Visit Bayou Ford for a new 2020 Ford F-150 with 0% for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by